It's Andrew Schatkin showtime. And Andrew, I'm excited about our topic. I forgot what you told me the topic was, but you said it's
I will say it, ladies and gentlemen, this is a topic that might annoy a certain amount of people, but as you know, this is a show of honest fact and discernment. We are not interested in political rhetoric or pleasing right or left. That's not what this is about. We're trying to get at the facts and the truth as much as I can. We're not going to talk about the gay community or homosexuality. And I think it should be understood the church's position on this issue and why it takes this position.
Okay.
First of all, one of the church has historically taken the position that the homosexuality, active homosexuality, if you're just thinking it as passive, it's not an issue. It is the actual physical behavior that is the sin or disorder. Catholic Catechism states that homosexuality. I'm very unhappy that our gay friends, who I love and dearly love and respect, may not like this. But the church is not the government, Neil. The church is a separate institution with many doctrines and rules that if you want to be part of the church, you have to accept them. If you don't want to be, Neil, you can leave. If you don't like the teachings of the church, and I suppose many people don't like to be told what's true and what's false and what to do and what not to do, they may not like it too much. But the church has certain doctrines, and if you join it, you sort of have to accept that. No?
Yeah, I mean, the truth. And the Catholic Church talks about marriage is between a man and a woman, and only sex is done through men. In the Catholic Church, sex should only be for procreation.
Well, also, you have to understand that the church follows the biblical revelation in this respect. Now, let me just say one thing. When many people will object and say, this guy's backward, he's quoting the Bible, he's saying the Bible is the guide. It is for the church. The Bible is the guide. It is what we believe to be true in its thoughts, guidelines, and ideas. Well, that doesn't mean the person is backward. It means they have joined an institution where the Bible is among other things, in Catholic Church's tradition and that kind of thing. But the Bible, in many respects, is not, to believe the authority of the Bible is not backward.
Right.
It is simply a position taken by those who adhere to the Christian faith.
But see, Andrew, the attacks that are going on now, if we talk about, and this is where we really are in a fine line going up into the election as of November 3rd, the line is totally there. The truth of the old guard versus where the new guard wants to go. Morality will disappear. And if they've chosen that path, what will happen to the people that don't want Europe? Don't want to turn on the news or turn on a commercial and have pornography on, because that's Europe. Commercials.
Well, actually, you're right about that. Pornography is quite prevalent. It's easily seen on the internet. What you do is click and you see it.
Not internet, Andrew, just on television.
On television?
Television commercials in Europe, in Germany, and other countries. There's nudity on everything. There is no moral compass in Europe.
Well, the church has no more influence in Europe. It is not an active force.
Not have much influence in the United States.
There are a certain number of people in the United States that are more traditional in this respect.
Exactly, but
they're not numerous. They're a certain percentage.
How much we have changed the course by forcing certain doctrine on people that want it to go. They have decided to force the same doctrine on us.
Can I go in and talk about homosexuality and explain the church's position on it?
Yes.
The church takes the position it's a sin and disorder. It's in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and it is taken from the biblical revelation. As I mentioned to you, Neil, many people who see me quoting the Bible say, this guy's a backward hick. That's not the truth. Truth is, the Bible has been the guide and guideline for church doctrine for a very long time. And I have nothing against gay people. and they have a right in the society to do as they wish. But within the church, I don't believe it's acceptable. You can come to a gay person is very welcome to attend the church. They're very welcome. I love them. I want them in the churches. I want everybody in the church. But they cannot say publicly in the church a statement endorsing their homosexual activity. It's not that is thinking it or having an inclination is not the problem for a church body. The problem is people taking a public position in this respect, and that is something that and doing it. The issue in homosexuality in the church is not your an inclination in that respect, and not acting on it. It is engaging in whatever they do. I really have no idea what homosexuals do, and I respect it. They can do what they want. They have a right to do it under the law, whatever they want to do. But what they do is not allowed in the church. That's it. And let me just give you a few examples. As I said, the reason I quote the Bible in this respect, because Neil, as you know, I mean, in the church, the Bible is the guideline. It has been a guideline, frankly, for a very long time. And some very extremely intelligent people have adhered to the biblical revelation. Some very smart people. John Milton wrote the epic Paradise Lost. He believed every word of it. John Bunyan wrote Pilgrim's Progress. He believed every word of it. A lot of very smart people have taken this position. Maybe not so many today, but maybe outside of the West, like in China, where there's great church growth, in the Middle East. I think Christianity is growing in other parts of the world. But let me just give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying I have a hostility to the gay community. I don't. They're very nice people, many of them.
Well, before you go, what I know the Catholic Church teaches is that it's a sin. They expect people to be gay in this world, but they're not to act on their.
No, they're not to act on it. That's the position of the church.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's correct. I mean, but also, I mean, as I said, I don't want to single out homosexuality as a particular sin.
But then if the popes, we don't know, fact checking the Pope from yesterday. If the Pope comes out with this throws everything out the window.
Well, I think, look, Neil, this is what I think, and I respect him. I'm not in his position. I'm in a lowly position on the ground here. He's a top public figure. But the fact of the matter is that he's giving in to secular forces. He's giving in to the gay community. They're pressuring him. He's under pressure to do this from those people, or certain forces in the society are pressuring him, don't you think?
I don't know if that's it, because then there would be a schism of some sort, and that's probably what's going to happen if that is true.
There are many Catholics that I have spoken to some Catholics. I'm Lutheran, I'm not Catholic. Yeah. But my sister teaches in a Catholic school, and I'm very, very, very active in Catholic circles, such as the Jesuits and America Magazine and meetings and stuff. And I have to say this, that Catholic Church, in many respects, Neil, I hate to say this, it's very liberal. For example, I saw a sort of a notice as I was scrolling down about the election that the Catholic Church takes the position everybody's supposed to vote for Joe Biden.
See, that's not true either, Andrew. So again, misinformation. There is different sects of the Catholic Church, different types of Catholics of the billion Catholics in the world, and they're devout. But like I said, right now we are in really tough moral times right now. More than I've ever imagined in my life, in a matter of seconds leading up to tonight's debate. So based on what you said about homosexuality,
I'm saying the church is not active homosexual behavior is not acceptable.
But I'm going to go with the devil's advocate, because again, we all are to be one people. If we put a teaching like that out there, and a lot of people still go to Catholic Church but don't believe it, we have really changed the environment. So that's why the Pope's probably trying to change it. But the Catholic Church has the strictest Christian teachings out there, and not many people follow them. That basically sex is only supposed to be in marriage. It is and
it is confined to the male and female.
It used to be only through procreation. It is that deep in problems where any type of birth control, even when you're married, is wrong. So here's the thought in all this. You throw everything out to people that practice natural family planning, decide to have big families, and everything if you allow same-sex unions. All of that's done.
But
You're
he has not endorsed same-sex marriage. He just said, I don't mean to interrupt you. My understanding, he just says that they should allow civil same-sex unions.
well, that's same-sex.
That's what he said.
But it's not same-sex marriage. Still, he is condoning.
It's not marriage.
But he's condoning sex.
He appears to be. Well, that's the issue.
To the women. And I just told you that the Catholic Church is one of the strictest Christian or churches that believes that only sex should be in marriage and only procreation.
I think that the church I go to does not endorse same-sex unions.
Lutheran, yeah, but Presbyterians do. So
some of them do, and UCC and Methodist and stuff. Let me ask you this: what is the audience? Why do you have a problem with biblical authority in this respect?
See,
the Bible.
I'm going to tell you right now. As I'm going to say today, I've given you facts as a knowledgeable person in the Catholic faith. Right. I will not give my stance on anything anymore.
All right. Let me say this.
There was a letter, Andrew, that came out that if Trump does not concede the election, they're going after and pulling Republicans out of their houses and going and rioting in all the houses all over the country. So bottom line in all this is there is a war, and you are in civil Roman times to really tell who you stand for. That's all I say.
Let me just say this.
And if Democrats get on, there might not be a platform for you like this ever again.
Well, I think Trump's going to win. That's my personal opinion. I think he has a lot of support. I think the polls are phony and fake.
So let's finish up this whole same-sex.
Okay. Let me just say, in Romans 1:32, he says that men abandon natural relations with women, and men committed shameful acts with other men. Romans 1:27, Leviticus 18:22 condemns sexual relations between man and man. I could go on with 25 citations from the Bible condemning this activity.
Exactly.
It's quite clear.
Well, we know.
All I'm saying that is, I don't condemn gay people. I don't pick on them.
No.
I don't have hostility to them. But within the church, that active behavior is considered a sin and disorder.
Okay. See, a sin and disorder at this time period, I will watch your back. In anything we do, our freedoms are being eliminated. You listen to different things. And as a journalist and a business owner, I give both sides of the story. I'll give you the straights about different things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, our freedom in this country is over. And
I don't agree with you. I think Trump's going to win.
It doesn't matter because the Democrats will have both sides. You will see him be impeached weeks later. So this is going to be a battle that's never going to end. We are in a civil war. So
I think there are forces that ever since he became president that wanted him out.
Okay,
As I said, I went to a meeting in America Media in which a Harvard professor said, we have got to get this man out.
Okay, so if Trump wins, Democrats have the House and Senate. Nothing gets done. They go to
They don't have the Senate, and they may not even have the House.
I think
a lot of people.
We'll have to look at those numbers. We'll find out the election, Andrew. All right, so what are we talking about next week?
Next week, I'd like to continue this discussion about homosexual activity a little bit. And I want to talk about, I would like to talk about the issue of poverty, in the church. There seems to be a position taken by Jesus in which he endorses poverty. And I have to explain the meaning of what he says. I want to talk about that.
All right, Andrew, I appreciate it. Next week, again, another great Andrew Schatkin.
As I said, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is about homosexual behavior. There is no question that within the church, it is condemned.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
I'm sorry.
Well,
if you don't like it,
that's
the way it is.
Won't go to church. All right.
What?
That's why a lot of gays won't go to church.
They don't have to.
All right. All right.
Nobody has to. Jesus doesn't force anybody to do anything.
Exactly. All right, Andrew. Take care.
Okay.
All right. That was Andrew Schatkin Show, guys.
Bye.